Why did Jungkook suddenly panic? What exactly happened at Incheon International Airport that made Taehyung's bodyguard lose control and burst into anger? Was Taehyung truly in danger? Thousands of armies gathered at the location witnessed firsthand the incident that is now shaking social media and raising many questions. What really happened during Taehyung's departure to France? That morning was supposed to be a proud and joyful moment for Kim Taehyung, a member of BTS who was scheduled to fly to France to attend both a personal agenda and an international fashion collaboration. However, what happened at Incheon International Airport on his departure day became a new dramatic chapter in the global idol's career. Thousands of armies who had gathered since early morning unexpectedly witnessed a situation turn tense, full of shouting, pushing, and even uncontrollable rage. When Taehyung appeared at the airport's main entrance, with his calm smile and elegant outfit as always, everything seemed to go smoothly. But just seconds later, the atmosphere changed drastically. The crowd's intense push overwhelmed the security team. Taehyung's personal bodyguard, who is usually calm and professional, was seen completely losing patience this time. In a video that has now gone viral on social media, one of the bodyguards was seen forcefully pushing a fan who was allegedly moving too fast and almost touched Taehyung. That moment triggered screams from other fans. Some were physically hit and others fell due to the push. Cameras from multiple angles caught Taehyung's facial expression changing dramatically. His usually calm face now showed shock, even fear. And this is what triggered panic from Jungkook, who was in a different location but received the report directly from one of HYB's security staff. According to an internal source who wished to remain anonymous, Jungkook immediately halted his activities and ordered the management team to ensure Taehyung's condition. He was panicked. His face turned pale when he heard Taehyung almost got crushed by a barrier, the source revealed. Surprisingly, not long after the incident, airport security officials were seen rerouting Taehyung's departure path to avoid escalation. Taehyung no longer used the main gate, but was directed through the diplomatic route for safety reasons. This situation led to many speculations. Was there a real threat that caused the bodyguard's fury? Or did HYB fail in organizing the idol's security? One fan who attended the scene, in an interview with a Korean media outlet, said the incident happened quickly and frighteningly. We were all excited to see Taehyung, but suddenly everyone started screaming and pushing. I saw one of the bodyguards shouting and pushing a crying female fan, she said with a trembling voice. What touched people more was Taehyung's response after the incident. Even though he was tightly guarded and redirected through a private lane, he still waved at fans and even bowed as an apology. A gesture that reflected deep professionalism and empathy for his fans, despite being in a dangerous situation himself. But this story isn't over yet. Upon arriving in France, Taehyung reportedly asked for rest time to recover from the emotional pressure at the airport. Some sources mentioned that he looked quieter than usual and even refused to answer journalists' questions. It's as if psychological trauma remained, and perhaps, for the first time, Taehyung truly felt unsafe. Shockingly, shortly after landing in Paris, Jungkook suddenly canceled several personal schedules and was rumored to be heading to France. Is this moral support? Or is there a bigger reason hidden from the public? Signals like this have triggered widespread speculation among fans. Are Taehyung and Jungkook entering a sensitive phase in their relationship again? Is there something being hidden by the agency? Amid the controversy and looming concerns, the public is now demanding accountability. HYB, Korea's biggest agency that manages BTS, is urged to enhance security systems, not just for their artists, but also for fans who come with good intentions. Many voices are calling for a new approach to managing the crowd, whose loyalty is unmatched but potentially dangerous if not handled properly. A concert security analyst from Europe stated that such incidents can be avoided if the security team employs a zoning approach, limiting direct contact with more elegant and organized methods. It's not just about how many bodyguards you bring, but how you design a safety system that doesn't trigger panic or defensive reactions, he stated. However, for armies, it all boils down to one unanswered question. What exactly caused Taehyung's bodyguard to burst into anger? Was there a serious threat still unrevealed to the public? And will HYB give an official statement to answer all this mystery? Meanwhile, global reactions keep pouring in. Fans around the world express their support through social media, sending love and messages for Taehyung to stay strong and healthy. Some even started digital petitions to revise airport security systems to prevent similar incidents in the future. In a closed-door conference that was leaked to the media, HYB was reportedly holding an emergency meeting to address the crisis. Several top executives were said to have suggested a complete overhaul of artist arrival and departure protocols at public locations. One insider revealed that starting next month, all HYB artist departures would be carried out secretly and off the record. But is that enough to erase the trauma? Will such actions distance the artist from their fans? And what about Jungkook, who's reportedly considering changing his personal management system to be more independent and separate from HYB's rigid structure? Many questions now circulate and await answers. And in the midst of this rolling news storm, one thing is certain. The incident at Incheon International Airport was no ordinary event. It stands as a major warning that fame, fan love, and security responsibility are a volatile mix that must be managed with utmost seriousness. Armies can only hope Taehyung remains strong and that this event opens everyone's eyes to the importance of maintaining boundaries between admiration and safety. Meanwhile, the world watches and waits. Will Jungkook truly go to France? And will HYB speak the truth? One undeniable fact remains. That day, at Incheon Airport, a new chapter of BTS history was written. Not in the form of music or concerts, but as a bitter lesson on how vulnerable a global idol can be, even amidst a sea of love that spirals out of control. But after all the commotion, emotions, and wave of speculation that flooded social media, deeper investigations from official sources and eyewitnesses actually presented a reality that was very different from what had been previously believed by the public. The dramatic story of Jungkook panicking, Taehyung's bodyguard getting furious, and even allegations that Taehyung was in danger slowly began to unravel one by one as not true. Yes, the truth that came after all the online chaos turned out to be far from the narrative that had first spread. And this is often the biggest challenge in today's digital era. The truth often arrives too late, when emotions have already shaped public opinion. Based on reports from verified Korean media, statements from HYB, and full unedited videos. Unlike the clips going viral, the incident at Incheon International Airport was not the kind of unexpected and dangerous event as previously described. It is true that thousands of army filled the departure area as Taehyung was heading to France. It's true the atmosphere briefly turned tense due to the size of the crowd. But there is no proof that any bodyguard acted out of line, nor that Taehyung was hurt, let alone traumatized. The airport security itself released an official statement saying the crowd that day was still under control, even if dense. They even thanked fans for respecting boundaries and not crossing the safety lines. The shift in Taehyung's departure from the main gate to the diplomatic route wasn't due to an emergency, but part of the usual standard procedure for top-tier artists for the sake of safety and time efficiency. Furthermore, HYB eventually issued a written statement responding to the rumors on social media. In it, they confirmed there was no unprofessional behavior from the bodyguards and that Taehyung was perfectly fine before, during, and after the airport. They also denied any emergency communication with Jungkook that would have caused him to panic. All of Jungkook's activities that day went ahead as planned, without interruption. That statement was backed up by CCTV footage from the airport, never publicly released but confirmed by local media. From that footage, it's clear the interactions between the bodyguards and fans were within reasonable limits. No aggressive shoving, no yelling, and no attempt to hurt fans as claimed in viral posts. Oh, how did false information spread so fast? Simple. Social media. In today's world of instant information, a 10-second video cut out of context can spark panic and mass outrage. A video clip showing a bodyguard raising a hand and approaching fans, without showing he was asking for space, was instantly misinterpreted as anger. And from there came a string of assumptions: that Taehyung was scared, that Jungkook panicked, and that HYB failed to protect their stars. This story was then amplified by large fan accounts, which spread seemingly valid opinions without verifying facts. As emotions rose, the public got swept into a loop of misinformation that seemed to confirm itself, even though it was all based on a misunderstanding. This is the hard truth we must face. Not everything viral is true. Not everything shocking is automatically valid without clarification. And sometimes we prefer drama over truth because drama moves emotions while facts feel plain. The actual fact is, Taehyung was fine. He greeted fans warmly as usual and showed no signs of trauma. Jungkook went about his day without the panic people mentioned. And Taehyung's bodyguards? They did their job professionally under pressure. What about the armies who were angry and misled? Many later apologized after learning the truth. Several fan accounts even deleted old posts and issued clarifications. Still, the damage from the false news remained. For the fans, the public, and the wrongly accused bodyguards, what's saddening is all this could have been avoided. If only the public waited for facts, if the media didn't rush to make drama, and if we all paused before reacting, maybe this story wouldn't have blown up like it did.